we are hooking up as we speak. I can see her right now. It's Leanne Morgan, and I'm not sure where she is. What do you think, home or hotel? Christy, you take it.
Judging on the art, it's got to be the hotel.
Hotel? Yeah.
No, y'all, that's my house.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, honey, that's okay. It's
Sorry about your ugly paintings.
No, it's a
very
lovely
nice.
home. Chick, behave, man. Come on.
Sorry.
Well, your hair looks great. Let's start right there. Leanne has to have great-looking hair because she's going to be on the TV.
Yeah?
Tell us about the stand-up comedy special that is on its way to Netflix. When does this thing start streaming? It's up and running, right?
It already dropped. It dropped April the 11th this week, and it's been in the top 10 on Netflix for 4 days.
That's great. Congratulations.
Oh, thank y'all.
Very cool.
I cannot believe it, my darling. I cannot believe it.
And now, was this recorded? I'm trying to remember. Didn't your tour reference panties in some way? What was it?
Yes, my darling. It was the Big Panty Tour. I did over 100 shows, and I talked about my panties all over the United States, and we had a ball.
Okay. And you're not offended by the term panties?
Oh, Lord, no.
Okay.
Honey, no, I love panties.
Okay. Christy?
And, I'm 57, so I don't think anybody was worried about their husband, with me talking because I have big panties. It's not threatening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I see. And now, when you tour, and I know you've got a bunch of shows coming up. Once again, we're speaking with the comedian Leanne Morgan. When you tour, do you have so-called merch? Do you sell stuff? I'm assuming you're not selling panties, but...
Why wouldn't you?
No, I'm not selling. I wanted to sell panties, but we couldn't get all that pulled together. And it was a lot, to be hauling all those sizes of panties. After COVID, everybody's panties got bigger, and so...
And in a bunch.
I have T-shirt and a big Yeti-type cup for women to drink in the car when they're hot, and going through menopause, and I've got hats to keep some damage off your face and that kind of stuff. And,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Now,
and thank you for telling me my hair looks nice. The reason why it does is because I had a show last night. I had 2 arena shows this weekend in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I live. And so I had to zhuzh up my hair. And so I slept on it a few hours and got up and did this for y'all.
Looks very nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful blonde hair from Leanne Morgan, who is our guest. And once again, as they say, her new special has dropped, which means it's. She didn't drop it. I mean, it's for your.
You're the only one I think who has trouble with this term.
No, it's everyone says it now.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, you can watch it on Netflix. That's great. And then the new tour is all new stuff, and that is up and running. And among other spots, I just want to mention this one: Charleston Civic Center with Jeff Foxworthy coming up May 17th. Also Springfield, Missouri, at the Juanita K. Hammonds Hall, and Savannah, Georgia, the Johnny Mercer Theater in July and July 8th. So lots and lots of stops coming up. Do you drive everywhere, or do you have like a van or an RV? Or
I fly everywhere. Sometimes, like this week coming up, I'm in Hiwassee, Georgia, and Charlotte. And it just doesn't make sense to try to fly to Hiwassee, Georgia. So I'm going to drive. But I don't driving's fine. But most of the time I am connecting out of my little airport in Knoxville, Tennessee. And it's a lot. I mean, I'm having a ball, but it's, I'm 57 years old. So I try to make it as easy as I can. But travel's what's a booger. I get to these shows and I'm having a ball. It's wonderful, but it's just, getting where, because East Tennessee, it's not easy to fly out of. But anyway, I didn't mean to get into all that.
That's okay.
I've got another tour, and it's called the Just Getting Started tour. After I shot that Netflix special, I had to turn around a new hour in 6 weeks, y'all.
Whoa.
Out of a 22-year career, I've never done that before. But anyway, I've got it. And now I'm on this new tour called Just Getting Started tour.
What are you getting started with?
Honey, my life, look at me, 57 with a Netflix special and a grandbaby and another grandbaby on the way.
Right.
Congratulations on that,
Thank
too.
you.
That's great.
And I was reading a little bit of background, Leanne. I think I'm getting the story right. You used to go to people's homes and do those jewelry sale things. Is this correct?
Yes, 30 years ago, when I was pregnant with my first baby, I wanted to make a little money and be with people, meet women and all that up in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And I started selling jewelry like women sell Tupperware and Mary Kay. And I'm sorry, y'all, if it says my internet is unstable. I don't know what that means.
We're good.
No,
we can see
great.
it.
You look fine.
And I look back on it and what a blessing it was, because it was like my own little comedy club with my demographic every night. And I started kind of a shtick, and women thought I was funny and started booking me a year in advance to do these jewelry shows. And the big company noticed and asked me to start speaking at their things, their big thing at the Opryland Hotel and in Dallas. And so, and I would go and I'd get up and I'd talk, and people would say, you need to be a stand-up. And it gave me the courage to then try to, do it. And so then my husband and I moved to San Antonio, Texas, and I had a comedy club for the first time. And I got up and did open mic. And then there we go. I've been doing stand-up for about 22 years.
What was the biggest jewelry item that you sold? What do you have like a pitch for one of the things that you really were great at selling?
No, y'all, I didn't like jewelry, and they wanted us to wear it. They wanted us to wear it in the grocery store so that people would ask us what we had on. We all look like Mr. T. But Sweet Company, don't get me wrong, sweet. But I think because I was funny and entertaining, people get invited to their stuff, and they're like, I don't want to buy anything. And Laura Janine's having a Tupperware party, we've got to go. But they'd end up having a good time, because instead of talking about jewelry, I talked about I was pregnant during the whole thing and breastfeeding. So I talk about hemorrhoids and breastfeeding and how I resented my husband for not hearing the baby cry in the middle of the night. And all these women thought it was fun. And I remember saying to them, listen, you can book a party with me now, or you can see me in Las Vegas later.
All right.
Because I knew in my heart I was going to do stand-up and I would be successful at it. I wanted to be a stand-up from the time I was a child, but I was raised in a farming community, and I just didn't know how, and I was scared, and everybody said you got to go to college, and so I went on to college, but I always wanted to marry and have babies. That was my first thing. I wanted to have a bunch of babies, and I got to. But I always thought I'm going to Hollywood, and then I got to thinking, am I one of these crazy people like those little children on American Idol that think they can sing? I start thinking that, like, is something wrong with me?
We're talking, by the way, with Leanne Morgan, and she is a beautiful woman, and she is also super funny and has her new special streaming on Netflix.
That's great.
As we speak, it's called I'm Every Woman, and she also has a new tour going out. And the new tour, you said you did a turnaround of about 6 weeks. Can I ask, did you have like a local club and where you were able to go in Knoxville and work stuff out?
No, my darling. Our little Side Splitters closed down years ago. That was in Knoxville, and they kept having grease fires in the kitchen. Every time I was on stage, the law would have to come. It was just always the firemen coming. But I know I flew to Los Angeles and stayed for 4 weeks, and I was in 8 hotels, and they booked me all over Southern California, and I worked like a mule. And then I finished it up. I flew to West Nyack, New York, and worked on it for the weekend after the Super Bowl. Nice. So I had 6 weeks that I did it, and it almost killed me, but I did it.
That's
great. So I've got this new hour, and I think it's perfect. Not to me. I'm tweaking. I think people are enjoying it, but I've still got time to tweak it, because I'm only into, this is a 100-city tour, and I've been touring since February. So I don't know how many weeks is that. I'm crazy.
Do you have someone that listens to it every night and they'll say, hey, by the way, this particular piece really worked tonight. Maybe you could add this line or that, or do you tape it every night and listen to it? And
well, we don't tape it. We should, but we're unorganized, because it's me and little Karen Mills, and she and I came with Etta May with y'all years ago.
Sure.
It had to have been 2004 or whatever. We stayed good friends, and we've traveled on and off together since 2004. And she knows my act back and forth. She knows my kids. She knows my husband. And she will listen for me and say, Leanne, remember you said this, write this down, this little tag or whatever. She really helps me.
Oh, but well, that's great.
Thank
Well,
God for her, honey, because I'm in menopause and I can't think of my name.
I hate to tell you, it doesn't get any better even after you're done.
I'll remind you.
Oh, I know. Am I going to start walking the streets?
Your name, by the way, your name once again is Leanne Morgan, and your hair does look great.
Thank you. There's a lot of product in it.
Oh well, it's a
because
good.
They had to judge me. They had to judge me at this arena. And I just played the Knoxville Civic Coliseum, which blew me away. It was 2 shows, about 10,000 tickets, and I really and truly was. I could think about being at Sign Splitters, and they really didn't want to book me, but they were like, well, it's this mom in Knoxville. Maybe she'll bring some women that'll drink Diet Coke. They would book me on UT ball games that nobody else wanted to work, and they, practically made me mop. And then, and then I'd be on stage, and the fire trucks would have to come because a grease fire started.
Right.
And then here I am and doing 2 arena shows. I can't even believe it. It was really special. So anyway, that's why my hair looks good, you angel, because I had women on top of my head teasing and doing, and I've just slept on it.
Well, it looks great. Well, you have a great show and
Enjoy
continue
your
the
success.
tour. And once again,
Yes.
it's currently streaming on Netflix. The Leanne Morgan comedy special is entitled "I'm Every Woman," and we'll be watching it. Thanks, Leanne. What a great pleasure.
Honey, thank you. Thank you all so much. It's good to be with y'all.
Look forward to
Take
seeing
care.
you again.